You know what the most overpowered thing in Project Zomboid is? It's actually not a katana, it's not an M16, nor a sledgehammer. It's actually a cow. And I'm not even joking, because in Build 42, these things can completely change the way you survive the apocalypse. And the reason is pretty simple: milk. So if you enjoy these videos and want to support, we're almost at 7,900 subs. And simply liking and subscribing is far more than enough to help me out. Also, consider stopping by the community Discord and simply saying hello. I shout out a random member of my community every single video, so shout out to Gulia. As always, shout out to my supporters who help keeps the server running. Before we get into the video, here is some screenshots and clips from my community server, Apocalypse RP. Currently one of the top multiplayer servers trending at the moment.
Oh man, this is rough. Should I just like sit down on this guy? Because like, let's see, does that work? Because the thing is, these zombies... Oh, wait, okay. Oh my god! I sat on it to death.
The best man is on the inners.
Okay, because like I'm marrying
chair.
him. I'm marrying him.
Oh, then why are you sitting down?
Oh. Because he's marrying a bunch of people.
Well, then y'all need to figure that shit out.
Oh, wow, little man.
I see little.
Jesus, you guys like my outfit?
I love it. It's gonna be a quick divorce.
Do you feel bonita?
Let's see if we can go interact with this person. Let me turn off the music in case they speak. That's so No, I guess they don't want to talk. That was so funny though. I guess.
And last but not least, I'd like to proudly announce that we are an official affiliate of Bitdefender. So, if you download mods and install games, visit Discord links, and browse websites every single day, then I highly recommend Bitdefender. Bitdefender provides powerful protection against malware, ransomware, phishing, and other online threats, while being designed to stay lightweight so you can keep gaming without constantly fighting your antivirus. Whether you're gaming, browsing, downloading mods, or just want some extra protection for your PC, it's worth checking out. Protect your PC before something goes wrong. Check out Bitdefender. My affiliate link will be in the description below, where you can get 50% off your next purchase. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So you heard it here, guys. Butter is simply OP. Once you've got a cow established on your farm, you've basically created a renewable food source. Cows can be cared for, bred, and milked, turning your livestock setup into a long-term supply chain instead of relying entirely on scavenging, farming crops, and hunting. But that's where things start to get a tad bit ridiculous, because you're not just getting milk, you're getting the raw ingredients for one of the most absurd foods in the entire game: butter. A single stick of butter has 3,200 calories. Yeah, 3,200. And here's the thing that makes this completely insane: butter only gives you around 24 points of hunger reduction. So your character can eat an entire stick of butter, get absolutely ridiculous amounts of calories, and then turn around 5 minutes later and be hungry again. Which sounds terrible, until you understand how Project Zomboid nutrition system works. Hunger and calories aren't the same thing. You can be completely stuffed and still be losing weight. Or you can eat something extremely calorie dense and solve your calorie problem without actually being full. Now, before we move over to how to acquire butter, it's important to note that there are a few recipes out there that does require butter at the moment. You can straight up eat butter raw, and if you download something like Sap's Cooking, then you will be using a lot more butter for the recipes. The main way to acquire butter is by using a butter churn, which you will also need 5 liters of milk per butter. All you gotta do is just build a butter churn and combine 5 liters of milk inside a single container. The cow pipeline is pretty straightforward. You find a cow, you take care of the cow produces milk, you process that milk, and suddenly you have butter. And lots of it. Players have reported producing enormous amounts of milk and butter from relatively small herds, to the point where food scarcity basically stops being a problem. And if you're familiar with my ideology of Project Zomboid, or if you've played on my server Apocalypse RP, you'd know that food scarcity basically makes Project Zomboid more fun. So don't be surprised if milk, butter, and cows get nerfed in the near future. And at some point, you're not really surviving the apocalypse anymore, you're basically running a dairy corporation. Now, let's quickly talk about the weight gain meta. Let's say you've been living off of vegetables. You've got cabbages, you've got potatoes, carrots. You're eating like the healthiest survivor in Knox County, and yet you're still somehow losing weight. That's because most vegetables are great at dealing with hunger, but they're not exactly calorie dense. Now imagine replacing some of those meals with strictly butter. Suddenly, you're getting thousands of calories from something that takes almost no space. And because butter is so calorie dense, you don't need to carry around an entire backpack full of food just to get those calories. You can just carry a few sticks of butter, and you've basically got an emergency calorie reserve. And this is especially OP for when winter time rolls around, when food seemingly becomes the most scarce. Butter just instantly solves that issue. Now, the best part about butter is not that it's so calorie dense, it's really the way you can store it. And this is another reason I think butter becomes incredibly powerful once you have livestock. You aren't dependent on finding it, you're producing the raw materials yourself. That is a massive difference. Finding butter while looting is great, but once you've got cows, you're making the butter. That means every time your livestock produces more milk, you potentially create more calories. It's a production chain, and that's what makes livestock so powerful for a long-term base. You're not just storing food, you're basically manufacturing it. And I already know what some of you are going to say. You're going to hear this and immediately start building a butter warehouse. And honestly, I don't blame you. It's kind of broken. But there is one catch. Now obviously this doesn't mean you can completely ignore everything else. You still need a balanced diet. You still need to manage hunger, you still need to worry about food spoilage and your livestock escaping or being killed. And you definitely don't want to build your entire survival strategy around eating nothing but butter, because eventually your character is going to look like they're preparing for the Kentucky Butter Festival. But as a calorie-dense emergency food, butter is absolutely ridiculous. So okay, enough about butter, let's go back to the cows. And now this goes back to my original argument being why cows are so OP in Project Zomboid. Because at first glance, you might look at cows in Project Zomboid and think, okay, it's just another farm animal. But that is exactly where you're wrong. Because once you actually understand what cows can do for long-term survival, you start realizing that these things are ridiculously valuable. Cows aren't just something you raise so you can eventually kill them for meat. Honestly, if you did that, then you probably do deserve to die in Project Zomboid. But their biggest advantage is that you can keep them alive, take care of them, and continue getting resources from them. Once your cows are established, you got access to a renewable source of milk. And that's a huge deal for Project Zomboid. Because the most important thing about milk is it's non-perishable, meaning you can store milk for as long as you'd like and it will never go bad. And once you combine your cows and your other farm animals with your crops, that's when your farm starts to become seriously self-sufficient. You've got your vegetables growing in your field, you've got your livestock roaming around, and you've got milk coming from the cows, eggs coming from the chicken, and that's when everything is starting to fall in place. Now, there is another item that I do want to talk about, which is milk powder. But before we get into this, there is an important distinction. You cannot take milk from your cow and simply turn it into milk powder. Milk powder is an item on its own. So why exactly is it worth talking about? Because when you look at the dairy system as a whole, milk powder becomes another incredibly useful food item to have alongside the milk you're getting from your livestock. Similar to milk, milk powder is non-perishable, meaning you can store this for years and it will never go bad. So don't think of it as milk equals milk powder, because that's not exactly how the game works. Think of it as cows give me milk, which quenches my hunger and thirst. Butter gives me insane calories and I can use it for multiple recipes. And milk powder is just another valuable dairy item that I can find in the world. And when you put these things together with your other crops and other items that you find, the dairy system starts looking pretty damn powerful. And that's why I think cows are one of the most underrated, if not the most broken things in Project Zomboid Build 42. They're not overpowered because there's some secret super weapon. They're overpowered because they change the entire economy of survival. Before livestock, you're asking, where can I find food? After animals have been introduced, you're now asking, what am I going to do with all this excess butter and milk? So with that being said, the biggest takeaways are, cows are basically OP. So find yourself a cow, get yourself a farm, and settle down. My name is Prince, and thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more kick-ass content. Peace!